Hi, and welcome to Lecture 3, the Introduction to Simio. At this point, you should have downloaded and installed Simio and have it up and running on your computer. I expect you're going to need to pause this video in the midst of listening to it to see what's going on with the software package. Okay, so when you start Simio, this is the picture you should see. I'm going to talk about the different areas of it right now. The first part of this picture, which is now in the purple box, in this area, you're going to see how we control our model. So you can see over here, this is the run button. That's how we actually start a simulation model. There's nothing to run right now. There's no entities or servers there. And then here, you're going to see we're going to need to use this area to control the start and end time of our model. So this is how we set up the time horizon, which we've talked about. This bit is also going to be quite important. This is how we change the speed at which our simulation runs. In general, we're going to want to set that quite high, and we'll see what I mean by that when we get to the future slide. Okay, over here, this part that's now in the purple square, this is where we get our different objects that are going to form the fundamental pieces of our simulation. This program is very visual in that we build the model. If you recall from the very first day, you saw a complete model and it was a picture. That's actually what we're going to make. We're going to make pictures, and then we're going to click on each object in the picture and change various features of it to change how the simulation model works. But you can see already here, there's something called a source, a sink, there's servers, combiners. Down here is model entities. We're going to be working with some of these pieces today. So I guess the pieces we'll work with today are all in here. Okay. Over on the right-hand side, when we do click on one of these different objects, it's going to give us the properties of those objects. If you're familiar with object-oriented programming, this is basically a visual way of doing this. Each object is equipped with different functionality, different properties, and we can change all that. You didn't really need to have object-oriented programming to understand what I just said, but that's really what this model is a visualization of. Okay. We also have here this, the thing now in the purple box, this is one of the things that will, basically you can think of those as different tabs. We start off in the facility tab. This is where we build our model. The other part of the other tab we're going to work with today is called the results tab. That's where we see after we're done running our model, the different the customer and system level statistics. I think one common problem that can occur is if you have the wrong tab open, you might be confused about what's going on. If the picture doesn't look like it should, be sure you're clicked in either the facility or the results tab. Okay. One thing you can change here are whether or not you have grid lines or axis lines. This is really a matter of taste. It helps you lay out your model, and to the extent that you want a grid or axes, you can have that clicked or not. It's optional. Okay, so before we move on, let's have a small example to work with. We're going to say that we're a manager of an outpatient pharmacy, which is open for 10 hours per day. Customers arrive following a Poisson process at a rate of 48 customers per hour. The time for you to retrieve a customer's medication and complete the checkout process follows an exponential distribution with a mean of 1 minute. And this is adapted from section 4.2 of the book. I'm going to stop this video here and let you guys think about how, I want you to think about what are the entities, what are the servers, and what are the events. Remember, these are our fundamental pieces of our simulation. Once you've thought about that, you can start with part 2.